Said, She Said is all about the Joy Lush Club. Yes, Joy Lush Club. I think that name is very creative, and it also has a fabulous story behind it that the two owners were able to share with us, and I don't want to ruin their story by any means, but when you have an opportunity to go in there and check out the location, then you can always ask how they came up with the name. One thing I will say before I get into our 4 categories and our overall rating is their website is chocked full of events. I couldn't possibly name all of the creative and clever things that they do in order to support the local community, but to draw a fabulous crowd in. So we're gonna start with location. It is located in a pretty central area of Uptown Phoenix. It's in a little strip mall that you can't miss. It has a nice corner of the strip mall lot. I will also say about the location, even though this is kind of about the atmosphere as well, is that when you get inside the building, you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, it has shuffleboard and darts and book clubs, and it's just a fun, friendly atmosphere. I know I'm not there yet, but that's okay. Location is great for us. We can walk to it. It's right off of where we live in the Landmark Towers. It's right off the light rail. So for location, because of its walkability for people like ourselves that like to get out and enjoy some beer and wine before heading off to dinner, I'm gonna give it a 5. There usually is a decent amount of parking, and so it is definitely worth a trip around happy hour in order to just get a little sip before you move on to the main event for dinner. Next is atmosphere. I love the atmosphere. I think it's super creative. There's just a lot going on, a lot to look at. There's murals on the wall. The people are extremely friendly. We've had a great time there. We haven't played shuffleboard yet, but I would like to get down there with a group of friends and take advantage of the fun that they do offer for when you come in. The other thing I will say about the atmosphere is because it has so many events, I can imagine that during those times, a lot of people gather there. And so that just makes that atmosphere even more energetic. But the husband and wife owners are fabulous to connect with, but their staff is also great with storytelling and just kind of making sure that you feel comfortable and that you feel at home and that you feel welcomed. Atmosphere, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. It's a fun, friendly little joint that I definitely think shuffleboard would be the next thing to try while you're having a beer or a glass of wine. Not to mention, in that atmosphere, it has coolers and coolers full of bottles of wine and all different type of seasonal beers. So it's almost like a mini mart for shopping for what you might need, especially if you decide to have a couple glasses and you want to take a bottle home, or you're coming in to have a glass or two and you want to grab something to take to a friend's house or dinner with your friends. I guess that would be the best way to say it. I'm kind of stumbling a little bit today. Maybe I'm just so excited to get back to the Joy Lush Club and enjoy another glass of that yummy Chardonnay. And after atmosphere, we are going to talk about specials. The one thing I will say about Joy Lush Club is that it doesn't have food. It has some snacks and some great home style Pringles and nuts and other things that you can enjoy while you're having your beer and wine. But they do have food cart nights, and all of that is on their website. And I think it's a great place to go for happy hour, since they don't offer that much food or any food unless it's a food cart. But it's a good place to go and have a couple glasses of wine. They have 16 rotating beers on tap, fresh, seasonal, very yummy. They're great about giving you a taster in case you're not sure what you're in the mood for. The wine I had was excellent. It was a great Chardonnay, but doesn't taste like an oaky Chardonnay, fruit forward and extremely yummy. So I had to look online. I have my little cheat sheet here, but they have like Wine Wednesday, where it's 15% off retail wine from like 2 to 10 p.m. That's an awesome length of time for you to be able to get in there on your lunch hour or after lunch or on your way home from work or after dinner. So that gives you a nice time frame. I love the fact that they have a family happy hour on Saturday, noon to 4. A lot of restaurants shy away from a Saturday or Sunday happy hour, and they've embraced it by having you bring in your family to join. That just makes it friendly for all. You can bring in your own food. There's games, there's crafts. So they really want your kids to enjoy that time too, instead of them saying, Mom, Dad, when are we leaving? When are we leaving? You can enjoy a nice glass on Saturday or 2 or 3 from 12 to 4. So for events, I'm gonna say they are chock full. I'm gonna give them a 5. I think their events are amazing. Last, well, I guess with events too, I forgot about menu, but I don't want to consider that with specials and events and what they have going on. I think their specials are enough to trump the fact that they don't offer food. And I think if you know that going in, then you're going to enjoy the atmosphere based on what you're looking for. So I'm still going to give them a 5. And staff, we've always had great care. The staff has always been excellent. They've been well knowledgeable when it comes to the different type of beers, the taste of the beers, when it comes to the wine. They're friendly, they're fast, they're really good at giving suggestions for places to eat around there. And they're just kind. They're good, fun-loving people. And I give the staff a 5. So overall, the location is great, right? The atmosphere is fun and friendly, ton of events, and we love the team there. I am gonna give them overall a 4.5 because you don't really get that opportunity to snack on something a little bit more sustainable than chips or nuts, but that's okay. Like I said, they have their months where they have food carts, and you can go next door and grab something to eat. You can go there before you eat out. You can eat out for lunch and then head there to top it off with some beer and wine. So I like the Joy Lush Club. It's definitely worth checking out, and we can't wait to see what you have to say.
Hey, Brian Thompson here with the He Said portion of He Said, She Said. We're talking about the Joy Lush Club. Location first, it is located at 24 West Camelback Road. So going north on Central, you're going to take a left-hand turn. It's going to be the first strip mall on your right-hand side, and it sits back in the corner. Not, as you're driving by, not super easy to find it. You need to know what you're looking for. And the thing about it, in that corner like that and in the strip mall, you're thinking, you know, this is going to be pretty small, but you go in, it's a lot bigger than what you think. And that's something else we can talk about later. But on Camelback, the other way, it's not easy to get over and get into it. But I mean, there's so much going on around this area. I found out about it more word of mouth than I did anything else, which you don't see it when you're driving by it. And that's a really busy road there on Camelback, and not being able to see it, that's going to affect them business-wise. And every time I've been in there, there hasn't been more than 3 other people in there, and I've been there 4 or 5 times. So I hope they're doing well. As far as location for me, I give it a 3.5, just because you cannot find, I mean, there is a sign out front, but there's nothing there to attract you into it. Parking is a little bit of an issue as well, because it's sharing with a lot of other restaurants. There's a restaurant there, again, UPS store, and some other things around there as well. Every time I've gone in, I've gotten lucky. Somebody's pulling out as I'm coming in, but there are no other available spots when I get there. So again, 3.5 for location. Sorry. I hate giving bad scores. Next one is going to be atmosphere. So as you walk in, again, a lot bigger than what you would anticipate, and it's open, it's tall. There's some coolers on the right-hand side with some beers in it. There's some bottles. It is a bottle. They consider themselves a beer and wine and a bottle shop. A nice little sitting area there as you walk in as well. Go into, on the left-hand side, a shuffleboard table. And I have not played it yet, I'll be 100% honest. It is very difficult to find a level shuffleboard. One of the bartenders there did brag it was level, but I never did play it to verify. But it's hard because people spill their drinks all over it and things like that. They warp, you gotta level them. It doesn't I'm trying to think of the atmosphere feel. It definitely doesn't feel, you could put a lot of people in here. You feel like you're in a warehouse kinda, and they busted out a bar. So atmosphere is not really super inviting as far as, you know, is this more trendy toward sports? Is it trendy toward large groups? And so atmosphere, I mean, there was some music playing, nothing spectacular when I've been there. So atmosphere, I'll give it a 4. I mean, because it's super clean. So it's hard to give it a bad score, but it just doesn't, you just don't walk in and say, hey, this place is going to be fun. It just doesn't have that feel. Again, a sitting area. So is it more, it has like more of a little coffee shop kind of feel, some tables, a big bar, but yeah, atmosphere, a 4. Nothing super spectacular to me. Specials and menu. So menu, they don't have any food except for some snacks. So snacks are like nuts, like their own version of Pringles and some other things there. And you can see a picture here of what is there. So nothing on the food side as far as menu, a couple snacks, like I said. But beer. When I was there, 18 different beers on tap. Good selection of beer. And then in the coolers, you can grab a beer out of there. And kudos to them, thumbs up. They had hams. That's something I grew up on. 50-cent hams when I was a kid. They have a brown bag special that's $5. And again, kudos to them. The brown bag, one of them was, I've got a couple. One of them was a Stone, which to me is that's an $8 beer, and you're getting it for $5. So good on them. Happy hour, not really spectacular. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then happy hour all day Thursday, and then something on the weekend as well, as you can see here. But nothing that really screams out, holy cow, this is an amazing deal. I'm not a wine drinker. My wife, I'm sure she talked about this in her portion, but not a whole lot of wines available there for you to just go ahead and have one. And same for like cheap beer, except going over to the cooler and grabbing one. You really don't know when you come in that is in play, I guess the best way to say it, because it doesn't really have, hey, grab a beer from the cooler up anywhere when you're at the bar. So I'll give them a 4. Again, just no food. That's I mean, again, some snacky food. Beers were all kind of a heavy beer to me, if you will. A couple of, maybe ales, but you definitely got to be a certain kind of beer drinker. If you are a craft beer drinker, heaven for you, because a ton of drafts, like I said. And the good part about it is their menus, the beers is always changing. I did ask and had one of their beers that were on there. It just has, and it's always changing, which is always good, right? I mean, you always want something different. Last one is going to be staff. So again, I've been there 3-4 times. First 2 times I went, one of the owners was there. Amazing guy. Had a good time talking. Just a super, super good guy. The third time I went was somebody working the bar, and I was the only one there, and it was like pulling teeth to get a conversation going. Not a whole lot going on there. We had more conversations about other bars, kind of. Yeah, not the best. And then, I mean, great, disappeared in the back for a while, but I wasn't really hurting for a beer or anything, but it was empty when she came back, but not really carrying on a conversation. And the last time I went, one of the managers was there. And I don't know if they have multiple, but a manager was there. And she was awesome. I mean, we were talking about the whole Uptown area. She knows the area like the back of her hand. Actually, I'll say Midtown and Uptown. Talking about different places, things to do. She's a foodie, was on it. So I'm going to give 4.5, 4.75, because she was over and above. Again, it was my wife and I, we were the only ones in there. So, but she stayed active, stayed engaged, and she was present, unlike the one previously. But before I was, we were going to do this, I was thinking about her, or not her. I was thinking about my third experience there, and I was like, you know what, I can't override it too much with her because the owner was so good, and then this manager definitely helped bring it up. So again, 4.75 for me on staff. So overall rating, I'm gonna give them a 4.25. I keep breaking my own rules. I'm gonna have everything halves and wholes, but yeah, 4.25. I think it has a ton of potential. They have a pretty good schedule of things going on there, and it's a wide variety. They have a comedy day or something. It just doesn't feel neighborhoody to me. Again, if you're watching my other videos, I'm a hole in the wall neighborhood bar kind of guy. It is more a, just walk in and hope that if you walk in with people, you're going to be entertained. If you're not, then there's really not a whole lot to do there. But I know they're trying hard. I always see food trucks advertised. I've never seen one in the 4 times I've been there. Have no idea when they come. So, yep, that's it. So stay tuned for the next one. And I hate giving bad grades. I don't think, maybe it's not bad, but I hate not giving anything but 5s. But we'll be back. There's not anything that really keeps us from going. We'll be back definitely when we're out and about, and stop by for a beer and a glass of wine. So see you next time. Thanks.